Six lucky people will have the opportunity to purchase $900,000 homes for under $200,000 in my housing market. And this is not clickbait. This is real. Let's get into it right now. I was as surprised as you are, which is why I'm making this video. And so this is off the Palm Beach Post. This morning, this news came out, and I'm constantly looking for new information to provide you with the most value. So if you do find this content valuable, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. If there's ever anything I can do to help serve or support you, please reach out, because we are here to do that at the highest level, help you get what you want in today's housing market, and max out South Florida living to the fullest. So let's get after it. Let's get into this article. And away we go. So this came out today. Actually, that's not true. Today's the 9th. This came out yesterday at 5:06 a.m. So I'm a day late and $1 short. Bad Chris. But this is off the Palm Beach Post. 6 lucky people will get to buy a $900,000 home for as low as $200,000. And it's actually a little bit lower than that. How and why? A county worker could earn as little as $54,000 and qualify to buy one of 6 homes that will be set aside for workforce housing at Colony Estates at Boynton. So if you're looking for a $900,000 home in Boynton Beach for $200,000, best of luck. You're not going to find it unless you at least not in today's housing market, unless you qualify for this program. Now you can see there is an aerial site map here. I'll include the link to this article in the ad copy below. So if you want to read more about it, you can. But it goes on to say a soon-to-be-built luxury development of 38 homes just east of Military Trail between Boynton Beach and Delray Beach has a rare offer, and this is a rare offer. 6 of the homes will be offered at workforce housing, which means that the builder will sell them at prices as low as $189,000. While the other 32 market rate homes are expected to sell for more than $900,000. That's a huge win if you happen to be lucky enough to win the lottery or qualify for these homes. And trust me, this is not something that is going over well with everyone. So I'm sharing it with you. Please let me know what you think. Do you think it's fair? Is this something that you would be behind if you live in this neighborhood or intend to move there or live in the local area? There's a lot of people who are not too thrilled about this. Obviously, there are some who are. But he goes on to say, Jim Knight, a realtor who spoke in support of the project during a public hearing on January 26th, there are going to be 6 very lucky people. This is precedent setting. Yeah, thanks for the update, Jim. We know if you win that lottery, if you get a $900,000 home for $189,000, congratulations, you're very, very lucky. A county worker could earn as little as $54,000 and qualify to buy one of the 6 homes that will be set aside for workforce housing. There will be little, if any, difference between the homes offered at market rate and those offered at workforce units. That is incredible news. Why is there such a disparity in prices for this particular new development? That is a great question. So let's continue to read. The builder, Elliot Monter, who is affiliated with the Holiday Organization, sought county approval for a land use change to allow him to increase significantly the number of units that would have been permitted under the zoning code. The offer of on-site single-family homes was enough to convince Palm Beach County commissioners to approve the plans unanimously following a lengthy public hearing on January 22nd. We would not have been able to offer this opportunity of on-site single-family workforce housing in the past, according to Maria Marino, the commissioner. I appreciate that these are single-family detached homes. In the past, builders and high-end developments provided workforce units off-site or made a cash contribution to a workforce housing fund. County voters approved a bond issue in November that is designed to help create workforce and affordable housing to help address the county's housing affordability crisis. Employers say that the lack of housing is making it difficult for them to hire employees because they cannot afford to live in the county. Well, that's 100% true. There are all types of, in fact, there's a Home for Heroes program that is currently in the state of Florida. And while that's great, the unfortunate reality is that most of the homes that qualify for that program and most of the borrowers who qualify for that program are still priced out of the market here hyper locally. So it's a real problem. Affordability is a real issue. And the truth is, many of you who are watching and many of you who are looking for this fire sale that may happen in the future, it hasn't happened yet. Now, overpriced listings are certainly getting kicked in the teeth, and we have negotiated some incredible deals in today's market for our buyers. So if you're thinking about buying, you've got a tremendous amount of leverage, you've got a tremendous amount of opportunity to negotiate a great deal. But the reality of it is home values are still appreciating. And that's the reality of where we're at for today. Now, what will the future look like? Well, Disney just cut 7,000 jobs. There's all types of economic pain that is starting, well, not starting to be felt, that's already been felt, but that's going to worsen. It's going to continue to escalate. I suspect that we're about to see a subprime auto loan meltdown, which will certainly burst. And we're coming out of the biggest asset bubble of all time. So I believe at some point there will be pain sufficient enough to cause forced sales. But I think that's going to take a long time. I think that's going to take, it could take 2 years, it could take 3 years. I don't know. But I do know that if that subprime auto loan pops, that market, that bubble bursts, there's going to be a lot of people that start to have to unwind certain assets and anything that's got equity is going to have to go, right? And the house in today's market probably has the most equity. And the truth is, prices are set on the fringe. So in my local market, in my neighborhood, in Canyon Trails, if and there's not a lot of inventory right now, but if the next home sells and it's half price relative to what the current market is, well, that's just now reset the bar for what the next home will sell for. And that's where we're at. And I'm using my neighborhood as the example here, but it's going to happen in many different markets. It's going to happen throughout the country, and there will be certain anomalies that are going to reset home values. It has to happen. I just don't know when, but I digress. Let's get back into it. Commissioners were sympathetic to complaints that the project contained too many homes, but when it came time to vote, they concluded that the offer of on-site housing was too good to pass up. Well, I can't disagree. Area residents and the Coalition of Boynton West Residential Associations wanted the number of homes to be reduced to 32 from 38. There is no development at 32 homes, said Monter's lawyer, Brian Seymour. The numbers don't work. Well, if the numbers don't work, then this ain't going to happen. But let's keep reading. Because the numbers don't lie, and developers and business owners and anybody who is in the market understands that if the numbers don't work, then no bueno, no dice, no moving forward. Colony Estates at Boynton will be built on a 9.8-acre site in an unincorporated area of the county. Access will be from the north side of Coconut Lane, about 1/3 of the mile east of Military Trail, and you can see this in the map. I will continue. So this is the big question. How will those 6 workforce hosing? Give me some coffee. Hosing. How will the 6 workforce Housing owners be selected. The developer is expected to accept applicants, and the county will then review the worker's income to ensure the worker qualifies to participate in the county program. After that, what how the process will work. Okay, good. It's not just me who can't read. It's this writer who can't write. After that, it's not clear how the process will work. Well, that's unfortunate. The Holiday Organization website says the company will soon be building a new community in central Palm Beach County that will consist of one-story ranch and two-story homes. There is no indication of where the development will be, so it could be the estates at Boynton or a different project. Efforts to contact the company for comment were unsuccessful. The family-owned company has built developments throughout the Northeast and Florida. One of its projects, including Colony Reserve near Lake Worth Beach, the development consists of nearly 200 townhouses on a 22.2-acre site off Lantana Road. So a whole lot of not misinformation, but there's a whole lot of context and information that is not available right now, which is unfortunate, but let's keep reading. It's also not clear what the size of the homes will be, although some of the homes are expected to have two stories. Nearby communities, including Prestwick Estates, Cocoa Pines Estates, and Montreux, many of the lots in these communities are 1 acre, while the density at Colony will be 4 homes to the acre. So this is the builder maxing out the land value to the highest degree, which makes sense given that they're basically giving away lottery tickets on 6 new homes. Officials wanted 8 workforce residences, but settled for 6. The only reason the numbers do not work for the builder is because he is paying too much for the property. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. That's the truth for every buyer of anything, anywhere. The numbers don't work if you're overpaying. Well, let's continue. Where am I? So he's paying too much for the property, said Stuart Mailer, president of the HOA at Montreux, adding he needs to renegotiate the sales price. Well, if you're buying right now in today's market and you are looking at residential resale, chances are you have a great opportunity to negotiate price. What I can also tell you, and I'm about to do a video getting very granular in terms of new construction in Boca Raton and new construction in Boynton Beach through GL, is that there is no renegotiation happening. In fact, they've raised their prices. They've actually reinstituted the lottery in order to buy in Lotus Palm. And that's what's happening. I mean, I'm saying that as a boots on the ground operator of a high performance real estate team. We registered 3 people this week, or 3 different families, people just like you who found me on YouTube, and registered them in Lotus Palm as well as Valencia Grand. Now, I'm not going to get too far into the weeds here. Those are different buyers in that one is a 55 plus luxury community, the other is not. But my point here is there is tremendous demand. This past weekend while I was there, the sales center was mobbed. They sold out. There were a few immediate occupancy homes that sold almost instantly. And those immediate occupancy homes they're not spec homes that were built intentionally, although that's what they spin it to be. Really, in my opinion, what that is those are buyers who fell out of contract and now they're offloading them on the market. But there is no negotiating price. There was tremendous demand, and these things got scooped up almost instantaneously. Now, in addition to that, GL is out there negotiating to buy more land, and there is tremendous scarcity of resource. There's not a lot of land available to be developed, period. There's just not. I mean, we're bordered by the Everglades on the west side and on the east side by the ocean. So there is scarcity of resource, and they are still negotiating to buy some of this reserve land because It's a lead, well, not because, but that to me is a leading indicator. They're willing to go out there and buy that land because they know that they can sell it to people who want to pay a premium to live this country club lifestyle, which they develop. So there is still tremendous demand for new construction in Boca and Boynton, but that is a totally different topic. I'll cover it more in a different video, but that's where we're at as of today. Okay, so the property is under an agreement of sale. It will not happen if the zoning change does not occur. The high sales price is forcing the builder to crunch 38 homes into a postage stamp parcel. Yeah, that's true. It's not the commission's responsibility to address the issue. It's the builders. Yeah, exactly. Buyer beware. The higher sales price, I already read that. Okay. The county staff recommended that 8 workforce residences be built, 2 more than was proposed by the builder, but Seymour noted that the builder needs to build enough homes to make up for the loss of offering workforce housing at 200 to 300 per unit and cannot afford to include additional workforce housing units. So it's still up in the air as to what's going to happen here. However, it is nice that there is the opportunity for 6 lucky people or families to go out there and get a $900,000 home for somewhere between 200 or 300, and they led with 189,000. So yet to be determined. I don't know, but if I could qualify to get a $900,000 home for 300,000, I would do that all day long. Unfortunately, I don't qualify. Susan Butcher, the former county superintendent of elections, lives at nearby Prestwick Estates. She lamented the density, noting it's much more than the surrounding areas. She's also concerned that the residents at Colony Estates could look down into the homes of nearby communities from second floor balconies. That's a big deal. So if I'm living in fact, I'm actually concerned in Canyon Trails that there is a parcel of land that I thought was undevelopable just to the south of where I live. And one of the concerns that I have now is, although I thought that could never be developed, it wouldn't surprise me if someone or if a developer came in there and attempted to build something in there. And because I know the size of that land, I don't think it would be single family homes. It would probably be townhomes or apartments or maybe villas, although I don't think that would work. But I don't want, as a resident who lives here, I don't want that. The logistics and the roads that exist right now, they don't really support what we've already got. So there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built, and that's happening everywhere. That's happening in Lotus Palm. That's happening all off of Lyons. I mean, there is a lot of, I keep saying logistics, that's not the right word, but there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built to support these communities because we've had so many people who have moved here. And that's basically one of the things that she's talking about here. I'm not sure how they could just build 6. Did I say that right? And I'm not sure why they should be able to build just 6 workforce housing units. The code requires 8. There should be 8 lucky people, not 6. Well, I don't disagree. I mean, of course, I don't disagree because I want people to have that opportunity. I'm not the builder. I'm sure the builder feels differently. My question to you is, how do you feel? Do you think this is a good thing or do you think this is a bad thing? Let me know in the comments down below. And if there's anything I can do to help serve or support you, if you're thinking about moving to or living in South Florida, then please reach out. Check out my next video because I suspect you'll love it a lot. And until next time, peace.